Welcome to the Staten Island Railroad.
Alright.
We are on Staten Island, a borough of New York
Train
City,
here.
and we'll see a railway system that has a long history dating back nearly 150 years. From being founded from one of the wealthiest men in the world at the time to now operating 63 cars, it is a very unique attraction.
Staten Island has its own rail line that, despite looking like a subway, isn't actually operated as a subway, which non-residents may not be aware of. Cornelius Vanderbilt started the Staten Island Railway, formerly known as Staten Island Rapid Transit, in 1851 to connect Vanderbilt's Landing in Stapleton to Clifton. The line was expanded to Tottenville by 1860, then to Eltingville, Annandale, and finally Tottenville.
Since the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad acquired ownership of the railway in the early 1880s, it has been in operation. The line departs at St. George's Rail Ferry Terminal and travels through the island center before descending to Tottenville, which is close to Raritan Bay. The single rail line relieves some of the demand placed on buses to link users with the other boroughs of the city and serves as the only fast transport system on the island.
The Staten Island Railway, a division of the MTA, follows a comparable timetable and charges the same $2.75 fare. From Tottenville up to Stapleton, passengers can ride the train without paying a fare, but those who want access to and from St. George must pay the fare. Depending on the time of day, trains run every 10 to 30 minutes, every day of the week.
In its early years, the Staten Island Railway made a respectable profit thanks to an investment from Gilded Age billionaire Cornelius Vanderbilt, who owned a number of significant railroad businesses in the Northeast. The business began to fail in the 1870s and eventually had to be closed down as a result of competition from a successful ferry company that had emerged in Lower Manhattan. George Law, an investor who gave the St. George District its name, would later buy the land and oversee the construction of a rail ferry terminal that would significantly improve service to the company. The St. George Terminal was being built at the same time as the Staten Island Railway as we know it now officially began operations.
6 brand new or 44 units were put into service to replace the aging Me-1 units when the MTA bought the line in 1971. With 63 unique cars, the R44 is the sole model still in operation by the Staten Island Railway, but the brand new R211 model is intended to take its place. The SIR's present operating line resembles an outdoor line of the New York City subway in terms of appearance. It runs roughly at street level for a short distance north of Clifton, between the Grassmere and Old Town stations. Since the 1960s, it has been grade separated from all roads. It uses third rail power at 660 VDC, as required by NYC Transit. Its equipment consists of specially adapted subway carriages that were purchased concurrently with almost identical cars for NYCT.
A route to South Beach and along the North Shore was constructed in 1883 by Erastus Wyman in collaboration with the Baltimore and Amp, Ohio Railroad. With the completion of the tunnel linking Stapleton and the St. George Ferry, what would eventually become the SIRT was finished by 1885. In 1897, the ferry terminal first opened. The present-day terminal was constructed in 2005 after a fire destroyed the 1946 terminal, which in turn replaced the original, also destroyed by a blaze.
Ridership had significantly decreased by 1953 as a result of lower bus fares, and the B&O had threatened to stop operating any passenger service. In exchange for ending service on the North Shore and South Beach branches, the city agreed to subsidize service on the Tottenville line. In 1971, the B&O sold Staten Island Rapid Transit to NYC for $3.5 million, ending its connection with the agency. Contemporary R44 subway vehicles took the place of the charming B&O passenger carriages that had been in service on the line since 1925. The Staten Island Railway was finally given a new name by the MTA in 1994, replacing the SIRT.
The original New Dorp Station House was purchased and refurbished in the 1970s by the Richmond Town Restoration, near Arthur Kill and Richmond Roads. The station's outer canopies were taken down. Today, it still exists on Court Place. It is visible in the